Let's get out a pencil and paper, please. I want to end the year strong. I want you to end the year strong. So, don't write anything down right now. I just want you to listen to these thoughts. When I came across this article from a runner, it was just absolutely, it touched me, it was amazing, and I wanted to share it with you, and I thought it was a great way to start this sales meeting. So she says, this spring I will celebrate 19 years of running. Over those 19 years, I've run countless races from a 1-mile tracks to the JFK 50. I've run in sub-freezing, raining, snowing, and worse yet, near 100-degree temperatures. She goes on to say, I have run on tracks, roads, and trails. I have raced through my 20s, my 30s, and she says, now into my 40s. I have raced 2 10-mile races and a marathon while pregnant. The ones that have meant the most to me, the ones that come to mind when I am doubting myself in any area of my life, are the ones where I pushed myself to the limits. The ones where I left everything on the course. Everything on the course. It isn't because of these are the ones where I earned a big win in a particular group, she says. Actually, in most of those where I pushed the hardest, she says, I wasn't even in the top 10. These races where I left it all on the course mean the most to me because of the level of elation they brought to me in the end. Even as I sunk into the curb, gasping for breath, even as I stiff-armed my brother as he tried to hug me so I wouldn't puke on him, even as the tears rolled down her face, she realized that she had given it her all. There's something special about doing that. She says, maybe it's as simple as saying, as the old saying, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, as long as you did your best. Personally, she says, I think it's because in life there are not many opportunities to leave it all out there. She says, what matters is that I have left it out there. What matters is that there are no regrets. She goes on to say, we are what we repeatedly do. Aristotle told us that. We are what we repeatedly do. It is not an act, so therefore it has to be a habit. The problem, as I look at this, the concern I have with that thought is the mediocrity can also easily become a habit. Accepting less than what you're capable of or should have can also become that habit. Giving up can become a behavioral norm. We can, and this is the concern I have, as the market had teetered and fallen since 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. This is my concern, that we can start to get used to anything. We can get used to living on less. We can get used to driving less. We can get used to earning less. We can get used to not going out to nicer restaurants or buying nicer clothes. We can get used to the fact that we don't have the money in the bank that we should have, and those start to become norms for us. I wrote down here, if we repeatedly set goals and then we forget about them, we create a pattern of coming close but not quite finishing. If we set goals and yet we don't complete them, we start to create this pattern of coming close, but not quite finishing what we set out to do. We're okay with getting C's and D's in school instead of maybe A's and B's. And that becomes somewhat of comfort zone for us. That's the concern that I have. What I want you to do, I don't need to take a lot of time and energy and focus this morning. What I need you to do is to refocus yourselves for the next few days. Take the last moments of 2011, and make them meaningful. We are in the last moments of 2011. Make them meaningful. I wrote down here, run through the finish line. Complete the race. Finish what you started. Don't put off for one more day not doing a 5-5-10. Write that down. 5-5-10. 5-5-10. 5 expireds, 5 previews, knock 10 houses around each one. Not brain surgery, not difficult, not hard to do. Any one of you can do it. I get literally a call or two every week from someone who's done a new 5-5-10. They've never done it before. They completed it. They finish it. They're elated. They're excited. They're so proud of themselves. And on top of it, they picked up a couple of leads and an appointment. That's what business is all about. We've got to run through the finish line. I wrote down here, we have 11 work days left. 11. Not a lot, but we do have 11. We have 11 days left to do something, to start a new tradition, to start doing something today that we have not done in the past. I wrote down here, how many 5-5-10s can you do in the next 11 work days? How many 5-5-10s could you do in the next 11? And I know some of you have family coming over, and some of you have to cook a turkey, and some of you still have some shopping to do. I get that. So maybe you don't have 11 work days. But you've got to have 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4. Maybe 5. Could you do all of those and do those at a 5-5-10? Building opportunity, building leads. Remember, prospecting is lead generating. Follow-up is appointment setting. What could you do? How many 5-5-10s could you do? I wrote down here, if you've not done any so far this year, commit to 1. If you haven't done any, I get it, but commit to 1. Between now and the end of the year, how great would you feel about yourself if by the end of the year, okay, I didn't do any yet, but I got 1 done now, today, tomorrow, by the end of the week. 5-5-10. If you've done 1, commit to do another. Make a promise, do another. Commit to doing at least 1 more 5-5-10 this year. And imagine what you could accomplish if you could do 11 5-5-10s. 11 5-5-10s between now and the end of the year. I wrote down here, you are where you are because it's okay with you. You are where you are because it's okay with you. If you don't have money for Christmas, it's because it's okay. It's been okay. If you don't have a nicer car, it's because it's okay with you. If you don't have money in the bank put away for your retirement, it's because it's okay with you. Because I'm here to tell you, if it wasn't okay with you, you would do something about it. So now you have a chance to prove me wrong. Okay? Now you have a chance to prove me wrong. Prove to me that it's not okay with where you are today. Prove to me that you need and want to do something different with where you are today. Now is your opportunity. Today is your opportunity. I want you to do these three things. I want you to fall in love with the opportunity that's in front of you. You have 11 work days before the end of the year. All of you can do at least one 5-5-10. And by doing a 5-5-10, you will generate some business. You will either generate some now business, where there might be a listing or a sale now before the end of the year that could conceivably close before the end of the year, well, maybe before the end of the year. It's still possible. You have a cash buyer, wants to buy a house, close the deal. You still could do that. It's still possible. Alex didn't think that he could get that 6 and beat me this morning, but he did. He did. And it's possible. It's still possible. But what about just getting a lead or an appointment for the first week of January? Let's make January, February, and March, our first quarter, the best quarter we've ever had in our career. So that's number one. Fall in love with the opportunity. You know what's neat about this too is most of your competitors are off now for the year. Look around here. There's still 100 of you in this office. It's the second to the last week of the year. It's Christmas time, and you're still here learning, growing, working. Your competitors are not, ladies and gentlemen. Fall in love with the opportunity. You will have less competition on expireds. You will have less people out there previewing property. More opportunity to meet any of those buyers and sellers. I wrote down the second thing is accelerate now when others will coast. Accelerate now when others are going to coast. You're accelerating into the new year. They're coasting into the new year. Accelerate now while others will coast. And I want you to execute a clearly defined game plan of 5-5-10. 5 expireds a day, 5 previews a day, door knock 10 around it. And make this the most amazing week that you've ever had in the business. Now let's go out and change your lives. Thank you very much.